Peace and love, Grand Rising. What the hell is going on already? Like, we just started. The year has just started. I had put something somewhere, and now it's a private video. That sucks, but whatever. Guys, I don't know where to start. I mean, it's a Royal Rumble, so it's like everything. You know what? Fuck it. Let's start with the list of things. Let's go. Let's do this. Let's let y'all listen to something, and then let's talk about it. Or watch something. Let's talk about it. See right here.
In American jails right now, and the family members of American citizens that are criminals in American jails right now should be pissed off at the Democratic Party. And I'm gonna tell you why. See, nobody fought for you.
I'm such a fucking bitch. All right, listen.
Every American citizen that is a criminal in American jails right now, and the family members of American citizens that are criminals in American jails right now should be pissed off at the Democratic Party. And I'm gonna tell you why. See, nobody fought for you this hard. You're a criminal. You got charges against you. They don't want you free. They don't want you on the streets. You're a danger. They don't want you around your family. But look how hard they fighting for illegal criminals to remain free on our streets. And they got the exact same criminal record you got. They got the same charges you got in their country. Same exact charges. They're on our streets for free, getting taken care of by our tax dollars because the Democrats are fighting hard for that. But you're an American citizen. You're an American criminal. You're a danger. You don't belong with your family. This is why you gotta quit voting Democrat. They doing some backward shit. Why won't they fight this hard for an American citizen that has the same record as an illegal in this country with that? Why won't they do that?
Okay. Well, first things first. There's a reason that is. There's a reason that he's able to say that Democrats don't care about American criminals, but they do care about foreign criminals with the same records. The reason that you had to make that video, my brother, is because you guys are not listening to Republicans. If you'd have listened to the Republicans, you'd have seen that Donald Trump already appointed a pardon czar, and it's a black woman. You would already know about the First Step Act. And instead of looking at ICE and all that stuff, you guys would be looking up cases of people that were wrongfully convicted, either overly charged or, just shouldn't be locked up, period. You would have to do your due diligence. The same thing you guys are doing with these illegals. You go out there, you protest. You find out about Maria or whoever with a bunch of kids that have been working here for 15, 20 years and haven't done any crime. You can do all that research, but you can't research your American citizens who need your help and your support so that these cases can be looked at and overturned. Because right now, and I'm mainly talking to Black Americans, Latinos too, but it's like I'm mainly talking to Black Americans. Right now, while Trump is in office, you guys have a black pardon czar. I would take advantage Same thing with the HUD director. It's a black man at this time. So if you're a legitimate black person struggling, not selling drugs, not doing anything, working a 9 to 5, trying to come up, this would be the best time to engage with those people because you're legitimate. So in this time, black people need to start talking. You need to start speaking for what you want. Stop advocating for marches and violence and all that different stuff. And like, speak your mind. Put your requests out there. Stop being silly. Okay. SNL star Kenan Thompson is being sued for allegedly failing to pay rent on his 3-bedroom rental property in Los Angeles that costs $10,250 a month. I don't understand that at all. And this is one of the main reasons I want black people to get away from the Jewish contracts, because they're no benefit to you. He's on Saturday Night Live. He's one of the biggest ones on there. He got to play R. Kelly. He got to play so many different characters and stuff that have been blowing up. He's been getting his limelight on. And I can hear people, celebrities be tax evading. Why is a celebrity who has more money than you tax evading? You don't evade taxes. Oh, the game is rigged. It's elite. You can't say that because we never hear about these motherfuckers running into tax problems. You've never heard of Woody Allen running into tax problems. You've never heard of Warren Buffett running into tax problems. Trump, Joe Biden, fucking the list goes on. You never hear about top players running into these problems. It's only like celebrities, rappers, entertainers, stuff like that. People that have these ridiculous size contracts where it makes no sense for them to not be able to pay their shit. Which leads to my conclusion. You cannot look up to celebrities. They're not here. The first people going into the hellfire are fucking like politicians and celebrities. They're like the first people going. So I'm just saying, be careful. I know it's kind of glary, so you can't see it. But there was a woman in Michigan that just died this year from freezing to death outside. She was, down on her luck at the time. She's living in a shelter. I guess she showed up like maybe 5 minutes late, so they wouldn't allow her in. So she roamed the streets of Michigan, and she was like turned into a popsicle, basically. She froze to death. And the lady in this video was making a observation. She's basically saying, have we heard of any of these illegal aliens freezing to death anywhere? No. We know they're in Michigan, Minnesota, all these different places. So in Massachusetts, New York. So basically what the lady was saying is, clearly these Democrats are accommodating these illegal immigrants. So they have the resources to help the American people. They're just choosing not to. And they're much rather helping these illegal immigrants who are not taxpayers like us. Taxpayers are giving up these taxes for the benefit of our nation. Okay, it's not just roads and brick and mortar. It's also the people. We don't mind giving, our money to our shelters and our food centers, we don't mind doing stuff like that. So for her to be able to just get not kicked out, but locked out of the shelter and then to die on the streets, frozen to death, that says a lot about Democrat leadership and where their priorities lie. People can say they don't care about black people, whatever. They pander to black people too much. They're always talking about reparations, hot sauce in my bag, you know, whatever BS they want to come up with. So I think that's terrible information. There's also
keep it.
Oh, well, we'll talk about that later. So yeah, there's that. And then what else did I have to show y'all? Oh, I think this is interesting. So there's a video from Doc Rich. And in the video, he's saying there's something very interesting about Minnesota. And he goes all the way back to 76. And then he gets all the way to 2024 or whatever. Minnesota has never flipped. That is the only state that has never turned red. So he showed all the elections, and I found the Mandel Reagan one to be extremely interesting because everybody knows Reagan swept the floor with Mandel. Like Mandel lost every state, as you see, except one. And it's like, I'm wondering to myself, I'm like, has Minnesota always been a harboring beacon for fraud and corruption? Maybe. I mean, look where it's at. It's way the hell up there. Majority of people coming from there are going to be pale-faced white people. You know, it does seem like and I'm not calling white people bad. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, it seems like an area that could be used for a bunch of pale-faced fraud that no one would be able to catch up to. I just found that interesting that, damn, there was literally an election. There was an election where everybody in the country voted right, except one state. And it would be the state that later on has like $9 billion in corruption fraud. It has a bunch of like scammers and schemers in it, willing to use disabled children and daycare centers as a cover-up. It's like, this is some real savage shit. You know, insurance companies, like buildings with like 30 insurance companies where there's nobody ever there. There's countless of people. It's not just Nick Shirley. It's like there's countless of people that have knocked on these doors. Nobody's ever there during business hours. This is weird. What is this? You know, Black American women going up to these Somalians asking, yo, put me on. Like, you know, I'm not even vouching for her wanting to scam people, but I'm saying for her to be the whole reason you Africans are even over here, and y'all to be like, nah, we don't do no business with you. And then on top of that, for y'all to be Muslims and to look down at non-Muslims, and y'all not allowed to snitch on Muslims. Y'all don't have to report Muslim crimes. So it's like Muslim rape and drug dealing and bad food passing. All this shit is going down. This is why they give them fucked up chopped cheeses and shit and sell the outdated food to you and all this different stuff because you're non-Muslim. It's like, so I'm wondering, is this on some fucking the Eddie Murphy Saturday Night Live skit when he dressed up and put on the white makeup and walked around as a white dude? You see how the last black dude got off the bus, and then it's like a fucking party and shit. The fucking lady had drinks. They're passing around like cheese and crackers and shit. And it's like, bro, how would you know? You wouldn't know. And I know people are like, oh man, that's just a skit. It's a joke. I was like, yeah, but it speaks volume. You know, it does. You know, when you look at bank loans and stuff like that, when he walked in there, the dude just said, oh, you don't need to fill out these papers. You can take as much as you want, pay us back whenever you want. Hell, don't pay us at all. You know what I'm saying? And people are like, oh, that's not true. Nigga, how are these dusty whites, not even the how are they getting all these fucking loans and shit? How? How are the illegal immigrants? Take it off the white boy. How are the illegal immigrants doing it? And motherfuckers be like, well, they're not white. They are if they claiming status. We've seen them Mexican or Hispanic people locked up, classified under white people. Hell, Fat Joe and fucking Jocelyn Hernandez got to classify under fucking white. And it's like, that nigga's last name is Cartagena. Hers is Hernandez. How are they white? See, it's a big hustle that's been going on for a long time, and it's backfiring on white people. That white supremacy it worked when it was just nothing but pale face versus the copper colored people. When it was just them two, it worked. But once you brought on all these foreigners that have nothing to do with it, and then you putting them on, and then you acting like they're the American pioneers. They're not. They're not the black and white Americans. You guys are the ones who made all your patents, not nobody else. Nobody else is credited in the golden era of America but the black American. They outdid every other minority. And since we only have on record of America and inventors only 5 Hispanic ones, we can't say it was them. There was rarely any Hindus out here until like the 60s. The Swami doesn't come around until like the 60s like that. The Irish was getting hung. The fucking Italians was getting hung. So who the fuck was they crediting in America? The white people who invented patents and the copper colored Americans that they stole patents from. Those are the only people credited. So how the hell how is it that they can't get bank loans when they literally had their own bank? They had the Freedman Bank. I'm not going to just blame white people for how that shit got wrecked, because it had a lot to do with those Magnificent 10 also, them bourgeois bootlicking fucking W.E.B. Du Bois bitch ass niggas, them type motherfucking sellouts. They're the reason the bank closed. We know that's true because that happened to Vivian. I forgot his last name, the brother who helped perform the first successful open heart surgery and shit on a human. You can just watch the movie. The bank closes in the movie. Like he's like, yo, he got robbed. All his money that was in there, he got robbed because black people were segregated. They couldn't put their money in any other bank. It had to be black only. So the black only banks get compromised, sold out by the fucking Jews, aka white people, just like the NAACP, the civil rights, all that stuff was headed, funded, and founded by Jews, aka white people. So that's why blacks in the end didn't end up, or copper colored people didn't end up getting nothing, and they screwed now. But what I'm saying is their doorway is information. My people suffer from a lack of knowledge. Okay, it's the Republican way or no way. Stop worrying about races. You're not worried about racist Democrats, even though you know all the hangings and lynching and the Klan come from over there. You don't give a damn. You still over there. You still voting for them. You still voting for these zip coon niggers that are on the plantation. Basically, all the black Democrats, the Jasmine Crockett, the Al Sharpton shit. That's why nothing gets done. That's why y'all don't have anything to show for yourself. But I'm just saying the game has been corrupt, rigged in the favor of the evil white people for a long time. That's where it stems from. It's not the good white people. The good white people are telling you to don't do drugs, go to school, build a family, love God. That's the good white people. The bad white people are telling you can believe in whatever you want, you can do what you want, abolish ICE, burn the system, burn it down, but they ain't building nothing and don't have nothing for you. And they got the same corrupt businesses in their cities too. They talk bad about McDonald's, but they still got McDonald's. They talk bad about all the different stuff, but they still have it in their towns. You can still buy it. It's crazy. No, we already did that. We did that too. Oh, another good information. Some more good information.
Keep it.
So it turns out that this nurse that they want us to feel sorry for had been fired 3 months ago. He wasn't even a nurse anymore. I know everybody's seen the video of him kicking the ICE truck and knocking down the brake light and shit. I know everybody's seen that. That was 11 days before he got shot. But he had already been fired as a nurse. He wasn't even a nurse anymore. Why? Because multiple complaints. Inappropriate behavior. Why was he doing inappropriate behavior? Because he's a fag. We all seen the videos of him cross-dressing. He got the beard with the baseball hat with some high heels on and shit. Like he's a mix. He's a weirdo. Super weirdo. Like, motherfuckers talk about super freak. Oh, no. This motherfucker's super weirdo. You know what I'm saying? You can't even pick, which is showing the clear-cut case of what really going on in the left. It's devil worship. How do we know this? The Satan coalition, the Democratic coalition of Satan worshipers thanked Tim Walz. They gave him a plaque. It's literally in Minnesota. They have it up. Now, I ain't fucking super gun-ho Republican. I just know the right way of history that we're supposed to be on. But what I will tell you is this. I have never heard in my one lifetime, and I know I never will, heard of a Republican coalition of Satan worshipers. I've never heard of that. I've never heard of that. I'm never going to say I heard of that. I'm never going to say I am going to hear of that because I know that I would never hear no shit like that. It doesn't make any sense for that party because that whole party is kind of God-based. Like, people don't have to believe that. You don't have to want to believe it. It doesn't really matter. But the first damn meeting that they had of the Republican Party was in a black church. And at the same time, I know for a fact that not only was it in a black church, but I know there was black people in it. It's not like I'm just saying black church just to say the word. No. It was a church. It was LaFay. Something like that. It had two names, LaFay and something else. But it was built by black people. It was serviced by black. Excuse me. There it is. Look, pop that up real. Chamar. So, worshipers, thanks, Governor. Standing in the way of spreading Satanism in the state capitol building. Satan has a special place for you. But you telling me that these people wouldn't rob black Americans? They wouldn't rob y'all. They wouldn't lie to y'all for years. They wouldn't abuse y'all. They wouldn't steal your ideas. You know what I'm saying? Tenderism. That's Democrat shit. Bruh, ain't no Republican gonna do that. Ain't no Republican doing that to no black people, bruh. You ain't never even seen no shit like that. Like, they could never do no shit like that. But Democrat side will. All that tenderism shit, that's all Democrat side. You know that. Not saying because he hanging out with the white dude. No, that ain't got nothing to do with it. You know damn well patent stealing is on the Democrat side. As far as why not reveal the 50,000 patents, I'll tell you this much. I've heard white Republicans like Greg Gutfeld, I've heard him admit that all the hangings and lynchings and murders and shit was by the Democrats. And he'll even admit that they even killed white Republicans too. I've heard that out of his mouth. Why don't white Republicans bring up the 50,000 patents and the 200 towns? Because it's not their responsibility to bring up. It is not. I would never want to recruit somebody on my team in the biggest fight of your one life, which is your nation. You know what I'm saying? The greatness that you want to see. You won't even be here to see it, but your children will be able to live it. I wouldn't want somebody on my team that didn't know their capabilities. Why would you want their greatness, their magnitude? You know what I'm saying? Same thing, Goku with Gohan. You know, you got it, bro. I seen it. It's in you. Same thing with Bruce Leroy and his master. Leroy, you've been, open the fortune cookie without a fortune. That's why I sent you. Why? Because you are the master. My people have the skills, but they've been downtrodden mentally by this victim creator, this person that tells you don't know what you're talking about. You're a victim. Over here and let me steal all your ideas and turn you gay at the same time and make you a weak vessel that's unproductive amongst yourselves. It's weird, but it's facts. This is an interesting video. It's a good one. Hold on.
Really random, unpopular opinion, but it's been on my mind. I feel like Black women, we forget that the system was never created for Black men. You know, we are so hard on Black men and we forget that they literally freed our men and just was like, figure it out. But when the European bums came over from Europe to America to seek refuge here, they gave them land, they gave them a place to stay, they gave them grants, they gave them all these things, but they freed Black slaves and basically left us to fend for ourselves. And then us as women, because we're wired to be provided for, we're never had any kind of support because the system was not built for our, well, now take care of us. And I know a lot of women are probably going to be like, oh, well, they got to figure it out. But I ain't gonna lie, y'all. As Black women, we got to remember the system was not made for our men. The system was not created for our men. We got it easier on our men. That's what I'm telling y'all. When I was younger, I used to be against all of that, helping my man pay the bills and help. When I get married, I'm setting my set Black men up for failure the moment they freed them slaves and didn't give them anything. Heavy. Forget that the system was hard on Black men and we figured it out. But when they gave them slaves and basically provided for,
now look,
not built for now take care.
I'm not
the system they freed
going
them.
to take
okay,
that as a sympathy ride. And I'm also not going to look at that as a pick-me. I'm going to look at that as a teammate. What she said was very interesting. If we were in the times where women couldn't work, then women's point would be valid. But since she's admitting that the game has always been, rigged in the favor of the black man, it's always been rigged. For her now to be in a time where she is allowed to work and they're putting her up in these major jobs. Like, think about the 300,000 women that lost their jobs. I guarantee you, majority of them 300,000 black women that lost them jobs were either homos or single moms or non-communal providers. They weren't people doing any service to the group of people. They weren't. And it's like, y'all be out here complaining and are feeling sorry for these people. And most of them be gay couples. Like, they're not even helping the group. They don't have nothing to do with it. Most black lesbians are not born that way. Most of them ain't. Most of them is some type of trauma they got dealing with either, abuse or, I'm talking about like sexual abuse or some type of thug relationship that didn't go right. It's usually where it stems from, or their father wasn't there. Okay, these type issues don't have to exist because that comes from the pot of people you're picking from. You know what I'm saying? And it's been an ongoing process and it's not working. I don't see the longevity from it. I really don't. I don't see any from it because it seems like the more money rappers make, the more, the situation for the people have not gotten better. It seems like the more money the athlete makes, the more the situation for the people hasn't gotten better. It actually hasn't changed at all. It's like the education's even getting slower and there's more technology now. That doesn't make sense. So I say all that to say this. I think when it comes to American blacks relationships, I think they really need to work on teamwork. And they also need to work on playing the game fair. Not to your opposition. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about just to yourselves. You guys need to start playing the game fair. You guys need to start realizing that teamwork really does make the dream work. And one person not pulling their weight doesn't match in the end. You can't have a nurse working hard and a drug dealer. He's not even paying his taxes. See, you guys think you're coming up. You're not. His stuff it's a gamble. Okay, you can't have a stripper with a damn gangbang. It's not going to work. It's not even. It doesn't add up. He'd have to have a legitimate job with, like I said, paying your taxes, 401k, health and dental. It's like you gotta be evenly matched, like you say, evenly yoked. And I think the sisters, they got irritated because they kept getting played by the derelict. But you're falling for the flashing lights. Yeah, he has the car right now, but it's like once you get busted, the car gets repoed, the lawyer fees, all that different stuff. You have to, put everything together. Everything's not peaches and cream. It never was. Nobody said life's sweet. You got to get with the times. So, like I said, I'm not putting this video out, or I'm not putting this part of the video out to say, oh, black women, you need to submit. No. That's another thing. Y'all get lost in the gamble of conversations. Goodness is going to be good to you because it's goodness. Stop being worried about that. What you do need to start doing is analyzing the score on the board and seeing that even some of your other sisters are saying, hey, man, you got to stop being so wrong to these good brothers, especially the ones that are doing it the right way, because the game wasn't for them to win anyway. So if you're against them and you're making more money and you're not putting in the pot, you're not bringing it to the table, you're keeping it for yourself. It's like there's no longevity that's going to happen from this. This is going to be lonely black women with money. And what's going to happen? You want to end up getting played by the white boy, like y'all always do. Donna Summers, prime example. Not Whitney Houston. Tina Turner, prime example. We see what happens Y'all make all this money. Don't do shit for black people. Don't do shit for your community. Don't do shit for nobody. End up dying, giving it to a white dude. This is what y'all do. And it's like, the pattern has to stop. The pattern has to stop. And you have to see the signs. You know what I'm saying? People don't tell you things, certain things. People aren't going to tell you just to be, you know, hot air in the wind. No, they're telling you this because they're analyzing it. They're seeing it. One more thing and I'm out. So, the Georgia ballots. Hey, man. If it comes out that Trump won 2020, even if y'all want to say he lost, I always said he didn't lose in the sense that y'all saying. Y'all rigged the election by spewing propaganda. You made up a bunch of fake stuff that threw the people off. Okay, that's my conclusion. But if at the same time y'all was harvesting ballots and that 2,000 mules is correct, Trump could technically get a third term. If all that shit comes out, he could technically get a third term. And then the Democrats is washed. Because I don't see him taking it. I see him stepping down as to be the VP and letting JD do it. I really do. I can see that happening. But y'all wash if that happens. But yeah, man, confiscated, man. George ballots, man, looking kind of dirty, man. A lot of them was like duplicates, man. Motherfuckers just made copies of that shit. It's not looking good. Got people in Atlanta and shit, all the aldermen, all the fucking Prince Hall Masons. Why do you want to look at it again? Why are we still talking about this? You thought your 4 years of fucking clumsy Joe Biden was going to make us forget, huh? Nah. Why are we talking about Epstein list? If you mad at 2020 election, looking back at that, then why are we talking about the Epstein list when he got popped in 06, 07? Obama had that fucking file for the whole 8 years. And remember, y'all wanted Hillary Clinton to win. Trump wasn't even supposed to be there. So we would have never seen that damn list. How do I know? Because in 2019, Stacey Plaskett is texting with Epstein in a Senate floor hearing. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. I do this too well. I do this too good. Everybody knows because they should.
Keep it right in
your head.
Ahead.
Keep it in your head, man. Keep it positive, though. Keep it positive. So, I'm out. Always remember, knowledge first, action second. Close.